Wait till morning, the doctor said. We'll know better then. When's morning? 6 o'clock? 9 o'clock? I'll wait till it's bright anyway. It would be good to think there was something. Sat up there amongst all those stars, that if I did enough good works, or donated enough, or prayed enough, it's hard not having a chance to explain. To at least see what happened. Well, I think it really was because, well, I know there's no excuse, and I'm not trying to make any, but what I did, well, it came at the end of a very long, you never knew just what an effect that had on me. You coming back to our bed that night, having slept separately from me for so long. And the effect of all those beautiful weeks that followed it. When everything I had ever dreamed of seemed to be coming alive. Or more like everything I'd not allowed myself to dream of was coming to life. I'd drifted off, reading manuscripts as usual, and I heard a voice in my sleep. Wake up, Niall. Like an echo seemed to call to me from the back of some cave or something. Wake up. Well, I came to, and your hand was on my shoulder. Is everything all right, I said. Yes, everything is all right. You were sitting on the edge of the bed, looking at me as if you were trying to work out how to say something but couldn't find the words. And then you turned your head away. Well, my mouth got dry, wondering what awful thing you could be finding so hard to say. And eventually you spoke. Softly, as if you were ashamed about what you were asking. I need you to hold me, Niall, you said. And I remember saying, oh, when I think about it, I'm sorry, I said. Well, that must have been so terrible for you. But what you had just asked me, it was so far from anything I had ever expected to hear from you. And then you turned to face me again. Oh, I hardly recognized you. You looked so frail and frightened. Hold me, you said again. Well, I drew you in underneath the covers and wrapped you in my arms. And you responded, letting me do it, all in a way I had never felt from you before. And after a while I leaned down, I lifted up your head, and I kissed you. And it was as if it was the first time I kissed you I ever really felt, well, you took it in. You drank it in, greedily, gratefully, down into yourself. Well, I had never seen this woman. And then tears came into your eyes. And I pulled you even more tightly to me. My wee Inge, I said. My beautiful wee Inge. Well, I can imagine if I'd called you my wee anything before, you'd have jumped right down my throat. But that's what I called you then, and when I did, it was like some door that had been locked up inside you suddenly opened. Well, you burst into this violent sobbing, crying and clinging to me as if you'd die if you couldn't get any closer. I'm sorry, you kept saying. I'm so sorry. No need, I kept saying back. No need, I love you, Inge. Well, those words coming out of me took me by surprise as much as what you had asked me sitting on the edge of the bed. And they seemed to draw even deeper crying out of you. I felt for you. And when it had settled a bit, well, you looked up at me with these big, wide eyes, just like a little girl. This fierce desire rose up in me, unlike anything I had ever experienced before. I had just about managed to hold myself back long enough to ask if you were safe. Were you still taking the pill, even though you and I hadn't been? Yes, she said, it's okay, I'm all right. Well, to say I was taken aback would be understating it. Not about the pill thing, you'd been on that since we'd been together. It was that the fire that was in me, well, I could see was flaring up inside you as well. It swept the two of us along for I don't know how long. Maybe a few hours. And for every minute of it, I could really feel the love you had for me and that you wanted me to feel. And I wanted you to feel the same for me. Well, it was definitely a very long time, because after it had all settled itself and you drifted off to sleep in my arms, your hands between my legs, holding me, you'd never done that. Well, I could see a strip of light growing underneath the blinds. And as I watched that strip of light grow stronger, well, I began to see, to let myself see. Well, up until then, if anyone had asked me, I would have said and believed it, even after you'd retreated to the spare room, that everything in our marriage was fine. But feeling how you were responding to me now, to feel you needing me, enjoying me, well, I realized, started to admit that anytime we'd made love in the past, no, I had not felt fine. I had always felt unnecessary. That none of the love or warmth you had for me was any more than something you could probably do just as well without. And as this thought formed, a sudden stream of memories opened up in front of me, and I saw myself, a little boy, walking round and around the edge of the playground with this little friend he had, his only friend. The two of them just talking and talking away. And inside, that little boy was saying to himself over and over again, I'm fine. No, I don't really want to be like the other children, playing ball, playing away, rolling over each other on the ground, and always keeping a look on his face the whole time of being slightly above it all. As if he found the way the other children were playing not offensive in any way, but maybe just a little bit pointless. The only reason he didn't get picked on all the time, his little friend was never done getting badly beaten up, was because everyone in the streets knew what his big brother Danny would do to them if they so much as called him names. And then, even when big brother Danny couldn't get a job in the town after he left school, not for lack of trying, and then one evening just walked through the front door, slamming it behind him, got onto that boat and never came back. Well, there that little boy was still, day after day, holed up in the security and safety of his room, all on his own, still telling himself, well, I'm fine. I don't really want or need to be out playing with the other children. Convincing himself he was happy reading his books, happy playing over and over again on this little player he had, those precious